the next team is going to be Sunrisers Hyderabad.
Hmm.
They
Let's
had
move
an
on.
interesting season last year, right? Like they were better than average, but given their openers, I think they should be pretty disappointed they're only better than average. Abhishek Sharma and Travis Head. Uh, Even if one of them goes nuts, like they should really, really dominate this time. Like I wouldn't really worry too much about them.
Hmm.
But yeah, they went at close to 9.7 runs an over, which is pretty much on average. And yeah, it's not as if they were like losing a lot of wickets. They were
Hmm.
losing wicket every 21 balls, while the average is like every 24 balls. So it's fine. If people are batting at the speed of Abhishek and Head, I would take it. I think the bigger
Hmm.
worry might have been Ishan, who had like a couple of really good games. He scored like a blitzkrieg of 100.
Yeah.
But his overall power play strike rate comes down to like 122 for some reason.
Hmm.
And I'm not sure if you would expect an up season, like certainly not 122 season, but I'm not sure what his uh, ceiling is before he hits his peak. Like there needs to be a gear change some point. Maybe this is the year for all you know. And they
Yeah.
do have a bunch of options from here, right? Like they were quite decent, I would say, in the middle overs, or for that matter, they're like really good in the middle overs, right? Like the league average was 9 runs an over. They scored at 9.7 runs an over,
Hmm.
while scoring exactly, roughly the same wickets, balls per wicket. So it was as if they were like losing a lot of wickets, and they were still scoring uh, quite quickly.
Yeah.
But despite being, bang on average in terms of the wickets that they lost before entering the death overs. It's not as if they like capitalized quite a bit on the in the death.
Hmm.
So they are the sixth best team, only slightly above the average runs per over that they score, and they do lose wickets a little bit more consistently than what you would expect out of them.
Yeah.
It also felt like at times there were like a couple of collapses here and there, and Cummins was batting a little bit too early than what he would like, and so on. But those are the things that you would expect it to get ironed out. Like they are a really good batting unit. What do you think?
Yeah. So I would like to say sometimes teams get slightly unlucky, and I think that was the factor with Sunrisers Hyderabad. It looks
Mm-hmm.
like they didn't do that well, but again, if you look at the matches and everything, you'll feel that yeah, some of the movements could have gone on their side, but it didn't happen sometimes. So yeah, they will hope that luck to get on their side this season. But again, in power play, nothing changes. Your Abhisheks, your heads is there. Ishan, I hope Ishan will have that breakout season. Like I remember there was a time in 2021 and 20, Ishan was like on a way, like he was doing so good for MI, and then something happened, and then yeah, he's on a downfall from that. But he's not
Yeah.
like he's in between, and I
But
don't
the hope
want him
is
to
like
stay.
he's hitting 28, 29 now, right? Like
Yeah,
that is the time when batters hit their peak. So maybe he's able to level up in the next, this year, next year, and then even if he's like a good batter, he not be an elite batter. Even if he's like a good to greatish batter, which we certainly can expect out of him. That really
hmm.
transforms the side, right?
Yeah. But if you look at the talent side of it, he is quite as talented as any other wicketkeeper batter you can get in India. Like
Hmm.
right now, obviously. So I think it's quite sad to see that after like 7, 6, like he was the captain of under 19 team who lost in finals, but after that everyone thought that he'll will have a nice trajectory, but it didn't happen for him. But again, he's quite talented. With again NKR batting at number 4, we are not sure yet that he's a proper number 4 or not yet. But still India but still he has got quite experience there at batting at number 4. So if we can hope that he may come good. Again, delaying the entry point of your of Heinrich
Klaasen.
Klaasen is very important. Like you don't want him to bat at over number 5 or 6, so NKR will be important in that aspect. Now, if you go into middle overs, again the same part. I think Aniket Verma was kind of a find of the season for them. He was doing quite well, uncapped Indian. Again, they have put some punt with I think Adityan will go through those uncapped Indians they have got this season, and Again, Heinrich Klaasen was good, but again, his entry point was way too early sometimes I felt. And Nitish Kumar Reddy needs to get better. With Ishan, again, he was good. And whenever Cummins Defensive got chance, he played well. But again, they have their top like four overseas setup, so I don't see Cummins Defensive getting more chances or either Livingston. Like it will be a difficult call between Livingston, Cummins Mendis, and Ishan Malinga. So we don't know exactly of overseas combination there. But yeah, they should do better in middle overs. Like it depends on NKR and Ishan more. In death overs, we can see that Ishan was Ishan was doing really well in death overs. Like if he stays till that, he was doing well. Aniket Verma again striking at an par at a par. And again, Pat Cummins, he can strike early, but as Adityan said, if Cummins is coming at over number 15, that's not ideal. If Pat Cummins is batting in last 2 overs, that's the best case scenario you can get. Again, Heinrich Klaasen was a plus batter. Only issue was that they were losing too many wickets, and we hope that thing changes this season. Again, Livingston can come good in their overs, even if you can see that he's low on the balls per wicket side. If you can see that he's like plus 80 on strike rate. That's a huge number.
God.
So yeah, plus 80 is like insane amount of death
So
over
wait,
rating because it's
plus 80 basically means, for every run that, like batters in the team score, it's like almost
yeah,
twice, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He scores one more run for anyone. So yeah,
Mhm.
he's just so much better in there. So they could try him, but again, we have to look at the team combination. But yeah, I think they have tried addressing those issues slightly. But I felt the team was so good and team didn't perform well, so there were no issues as such in team combinations. They should do well as such. They should just perform well. Hmm.
Right. So their batting should be more than capable of, pulling out a good season. The worry
Yeah.
lied with the ball.
Hmm.
When in the power play, they just couldn't stop leaking runs, and it's not as if they were taking wickets.
Hmm.
And even in the middle overs, sorry, in the power play, they were like the second most expensive side, going over 10 runs and over 10.2 runs and over. And in the middle overs, if you look at them, they are once again above the average, but they're not terrible in the middle overs. They're only like
Hmm.
slightly, uh, they're like only slightly more expensive than the average in the middle overs.
Hmm.
But they were good at taking wickets. They take a wicket every 20 balls as opposed to 22 balls. So I think I would take their middle overs. It was not like a big hit that they had to take.
Yeah.
And if you look at their death overs, they were not terrible there either. Like the league average was 11.4, no, 10.9 runs an over, and they went at
Hmm.
11.1 runs an over. So they are like quite average when it comes to giving runs.
Hmm.
But they did take wickets at a really good rate, right? So the league average was like 11 balls per wicket. They take a wicket every 9.8 balls, and
Yeah.
they were like the top of the second best team in terms of taking wickets in the death overs. The best team is obvious when you talk about it, but they were the second best team when it comes to taking wickets in the death.
Hmm.
So what do you think? It kind of feels like a worry, right? Like I would say overall they struggled quite a bit with the ball in hand, but it's not
Hmm.
as if they have upgraded their bowling at all, are they?
They haven't done much. Like they have tried some things here and there, but yeah. So with the way SRH formula works is that we'll score 230 runs and we'll give 210 runs. It's like that. So they are not trying to take wickets. They are mostly a defensive attack. Again, it's quite ironical that they took so many wickets, but I'll still say they are mostly a defensive bowling attack. They don't have an attacking bowler. Like you can see their fast bowlers are Unadkat, Harshal Patel, Pat Cummins, and Ishan Malinga. They are all defensive bowlers, and they had only one attacking bowler who was Shami, and who was not good for them in the power play at all, and or death overs or middle overs that last season, so they left him.
Right. And
Uh,
he's not coming back either this time.
yeah, he's not coming back there. So, and Jaydev Unadkat did well for them in power play, but again, it's quite weird to hear that Jaydev Unadkat did well in power play. So I see regression there. But again, by but then they have Shivam Mavi, and I'm hearing that he's bowling well. He's also batting now. So again, Shivam Mavi is a kind of a swing bowler, primarily an in-swing bowler. So swing bowlers do work in power play. So they will hope more on Shivam Dube. But again, they have a very defensive bowling attack. You can see in the middle overs they did quite well, like in case of not giving runs and also taking wickets. But they did well on the with the help of Pat and Ishan Malinga and Unat and Pat and Ishan Malinga mainly. So there were like middle over enforcers, fast bowlers. Zishan Asari didn't do that well, and also the Rahul Chahar they had, he also didn't do that well, and they have left him now. So the spinner side of it didn't work out, and they have moved past it. I think they don't think spinners work on Hyderabad track. It's very, it's not that a big of a ground. It's a, like you can hit a step, hit sixes. So it's very hard for a spinner to work there. So that's why I don't think they like my the idea we had was that they will go for Ravi Bishnoi, but they didn't go for him because they are I think they have moved past the idea of spinner in Hyderabad. So again they will hope Pat Cummins and Ishan Malinga to do good for them, do good for them. And then, again in their overs they huh, in death overs again they had a good team because again Pat Cummins and Ishan Malinga and Harshal Patel they are quite defensive death over bowlers, so they will expect them to do well. But again here comes the situation: if you are going to play Ishan Malinga every time, you can't play Livingston or Mendes. So it's again a dilemma for them with foreign like so many foreign options they have, and the overseas option they got this time was also Livingston. So they didn't try to address the problem they had with their bowling. Their bowling was not so like they were a defensive bowling unit, but I think they are dead set on this philosophy that we are trying to outscore the opposition and we are trying to save runs. So I think they are going ahead with their philosophy, and they are again hoping that they like it comes good for them.
Alrighty, so let's do the yes no map for SRH.
Yeah.
Um, Here we go. Where I share screen. So, yeah, as we have pointed out pretty much, right? So their top order should never be an issue. Abhishek, Travis, Ishan, Nitish, Heinrich Klaasen, Livingston, Aniket Verma, Smaran. I've heard like really good things about Smaran. That's mad. Like he's been going nuts.
Hmm.
And they also get like a good number of overs from the top order, right? They can get a couple of overs from Livingston. Nitish should give you 2 overs, and there is going to be this one fine day where Travis Head bowls and then gets 2 wickets in the semifinals and wins every game out of nowhere. Uh, yeah, this is not November 19th I'm talking about. This is 3 days before that.
Seriously for that, yeah.
Uh, right. But the issue with this is now you're again going with the same bowling attack from before. For most parts, Pat Cummins, Harshal Patel, and Zishan Ansari. They also got Harsh Dubey, who's in the running for the test squad, so it'll be interesting to see how he does, but it's not going to be a big change. I'm hearing good things about Akib Nabi. So another thing
Yeah,
they can do is, play him instead of Smaran, and Pat Cummins can bat at 8, Harshal Patel can bat at 9, so they do bat quite deeply there.
like
So,
here I would like to give a trivia that Harshal Patel has opened for Haryana in SMAT 1 season, so he's not like so yeah he can hold a bat. So yeah, again their backups they have really good. They have had this problem last year, like last year also. Their 8 foreigners were really good, but again you can
mhm,
only play four. Again the backup they have got Braden Cars. It's like somewhat a backup to Ishan Malinga. We can say again Ishan Malinga is there, and Cummins Mendes, Livingston, interchangeable players. You can like think about it like that. Obviously, Livingston is a much more destructive batter, but comes late, and Ishan Malinga should bat at top. But again, you can say that again the batter they have got Jack Edwards. So he bats for again. I like to follow BBL. He bats for Sydney Sixers, and he also played in under 19 World Cup. And he's quite in the periphery of Australian call up. I feel he's a like tall guy, bowls good pace, bats well, bats in top order. But again, like there is no way you can use him. So they've got good players, but again, yeah, you
yeah,
can't
no, I would
use.
be worried with their bowling as well. It just feels like they're not upgraded on
I
it at
think,
all.
yeah, I think they're dead set on that philosophy that we are going to outscore people. Like it's
Hmm.
very because therefore they are not even trying to get any attacking bowler. Like only attacking bowler they had, they left him. Also, they didn't go for
Hmm.
Ravi Bishnoi again an attacking option. I think again we don't know this philosophy works or not in T20. Like could work again. Pat Cummins is people call him ultimate pragmatist, like captain ever. So again, could work. So we have to see. It's an experiment. This ultimate pragmatist kind of philosophy. So
That's
yeah,
true. I mean, if you're going with defensive bowlers, right? Like even if you have somebody like, oh no, you can't get somebody from the level of Matisha Patirana for every bowler that you are bowling. But if you're talking about, like some better bowlers of this kind, like somebody who can take the power play for you. Now it just feels like they are out of power play options and things like those. So that might be an issue.
yeah.
But
Like
their
their
batting
hope.
should, you
Hmm.
know, like you should expect them to, score 284 and then concede 265 every game.
Yeah, yeah. So their hopes are tied on the guy who hasn't played IPL in last 3 years, who has been injured out of those 2 years in those 3 years, like Mavi, and
Hmm.
there are like too many variables. But whatever their philosophy is, we have to see. We have to wait and watch. Like I haven't seen anyone going this far with this philosophy of going hard on batting and so much defensive on bowling. We have to see.